And we are here again, back on Twitch. Second to last game of season number 10. And I'm hearing myself twice because I'm an idiot. I didn't turn my volume down on my phone. But we're here again. Another great game. We got one team settled who is going to be in the United Bowl. Obviously, that will be the Huntington Beach Voyagers. And they'll be watching just to see who their opponent will be, where they're going to be meeting up. And actually, they're going to meet up in Arizona. But they got to find the opponent. It's going to be Toronto and Charlotte. Should be a fun ride as always. If the last times these two teams played was any type of indication, and you know I had to get my boy back in here again, Caboose. How you feeling? What are your thoughts in this ball game?
I am a little under the weather. Got a nice sore throat, so I've got a bottle of honey and a spoon next to me so I don't lose my voice in the middle of this. But this should be a great game. We've seen this game twice already in the regular season, and both games went to Charlotte, and both games were very, very tightly contested affairs. I'm expecting something similar to that today.
Most definitely. I hope you're getting better as well. And if you want me to, I could definitely talk about both teams. That way you're not straining your voice. Get you all ready to go for the gameplay. Starting with the number 2 seed, Toronto Wraiths. They are coming into this ball game very, very motivated. The furthest they've ever been, the most wins they've ever had, and they have a lot of talent to back it up, both on offense and defense. Rookie quarterback Jax James ready to put this thing down for the big homies in Canada. They'll be on the road, obviously, going up against the number 1 team in the Charlotte Royals, a very familiar team, as I said in the intro in the Discord. They're looking to get their third entry into the United Bowl against a team they have yet to beat since we moved to the Madden era. I believe they beat them in season 7, and I think that was the last. And I think that was the last time they beat them. And similar to everyone else, no one's quite found a way to crack the code. And it's going to be a fun ride here. Charlotte is also loaded on offense and on defense. Special teams going to be a fun ride as always. And if you have any other thoughts, Caboose, we could go ahead and get this thing rolling.
No, I believe you got to talk a little bit about Toronto and how their defense is and how strong it will be. I'm really expecting this to be a clash of the highly powered offense of Charlotte against the highly touted unbreakable defense of Toronto. So without further ado, go ahead, get it going.
Let's go ahead and do it then. Best of luck once again to both of these teams. Go ahead and hit that play game button, and it looks like Charlotte will be starting with the football. We are underway. Let's go ahead and get into it as we see the kneel down there from Montezuma Popoko, and it's going to be Vic Dotson, Montezuma, Hex Waters, MJ Witten, Doc Boone. A very, very tough team to go up against as they're going to pitch it to Vic early, and he will rumble forward for a quick first down of 11 yards.
Yeah, Vic, one of those tight ends that is really hard to cover, arguably the best tight end to have ever played in the league. So this is going to be a pretty big task of Toronto's defenses to shut him down.
They're going to fake the handoff. Here's Falco. Protection's decent, and they're going to go ahead and launch it deep to the middle of the field into coverage and almost picked off as they tried to fit that one to MJ Witten, but a great job by the secondary not allowing that. Highly powered offense of Charlotte. I mean, they've had their moments, but they're still a top 3, top 4 team in regards to scoring points. Even with their blunder they had against New York earlier this season. We're going to see a pitch to the right side, and that's going to be a gain of about 6 on the play. Going to make it 3rd and 4, and there goes Bobby Boucher.
And all 3 of their wide receivers right now are arguably wide receiver 1 quality. And then you've got Doc Boone, who's running back of the year candidate. You've got Hank Falco, who's league MVP, potentially has the opportunity to become a multi-time winner of MVP. So and then you've got Vic Dotson, who wins tight end of the year every year.
Well, great job by the Toronto defense on that 3rd down. getting the stop, and that'll put their very fun offense onto the field. We'll see what Austin Wilson, Jack James, Kevin Lee, Phoenix Jones can do, as Jake Parkey is going to send that one into the back of the end zone for the first time tonight. And we'll see the Wraiths offense come real soon. Single back set coming. The furthest, like I said before, that Toronto's been in the playoffs. They've only been in once, and they went pretty far, but they're not trying to stop, as he has to throw this one away, as the interior defense come into play here for Charlotte.
And Charlotte's defense, not a slouch either. John Smith back there on the middle linebacker spot. Charlotte's defense is good enough that they were able to trade out middle linebacker Arn Jacobson for a wealth of draft picks and still be a top-tier defense.
They're going with the quarterback draw out the gate, see if they can get Jack James ready. And there goes Matty Ice, or not Matty Ice, that's Gabby Ice, with the tackle there. A gain of 2, and now it's a 3rd and 8 situation here. We'll have to see this arm from this rookie caboose.
Yeah, Jax, he showed he could throw the ball last time out against New York. However, both teams, it was a bit of a stifled game from both sides on offense, so hopefully some of that is rubbed off.
Well, that was a great push there, but I think he's short. They are going to mark it. You hear the fanfares rolling. 4th and inches, and the Charlotte defense will get their stop, putting their offense back on. Great effort, though, by the way, by number 84, Dusty Rooks, but just couldn't quite get that last bit that was needed. And we'll see David Washington send this one away. It will be returned there by Montezuma using a juke move, and that looked pretty close to a face mask play. I heard you calling them out last game, and look like they're not going to call that one. It's 1st and 10 here for Charlotte. We'll see how they maneuver the football. Is he going to hand off, finding a little bit of hole in a juke move, tried another one, and he almost broke free again. Doc Boone with this first touch, making it happen for 9.
And he honestly, if he just kept running straight, that's probably a gain of 11 or 12 right there.
In my opinion, at least a Pro Bowl entry this season here for Doc Boone, as we'll see a fake in the handoff here. Protection's breaking down. Going to go ahead and launch this over the head of Montezuma. The pressure was right there. It's 3rd and 1 coming for Charlotte. I say give it back to number 1. Keep the drive alive.
Yeah.
That would be the smart decision.
I absolutely agree there.
And they're going to fake it. Blocking is perfect. They're going to try the deep pass over to Vic. Could not drop it in the bucket. Ran out of room. And you hate to see that, because Vic did have a step. Honestly, if he went straight, that would have been 6 points on the board there for the boys in blue.
It definitely had the potential to do that. Unfortunately, that kind of outward slant route just didn't quite work for him. Ran out of room.
It's situations like that where, honestly, the pass was late. Normally, that's the case, because, honestly, he should have had enough room to catch it, get both feet down, and to keep the drive alive. So, Falco needs to tighten up on that side. But it's back to Toronto football, and they're going to go ahead and start their first time on the ground and stuffed immediately. There by the big homies in Charlotte. I believe that's JC Judon who started the hit, the loss of 2.
Both defenses coming out to play here a little bit early. Neither side giving up too much. And so far, not a whole lot to distinguish between these two teams.
2nd and 12. They're going to try the ground game again. Why not? This time a lot better. And it's a 3rd and short situation. Finding a nice hole with that block on the outside.
It brings a nice 10-yard gain there to get them back into a 3rd and 2 situation where it's manageable and, a little bit easier to pick up.
Hey, that's a false start on top of that, so not as easy. 3rd and 7, and now we'll have to see that arm more than likely again from Jack James. And it looks like Charlotte has 3 linemen. They're going to send 3. Looking to get down. Protection's decent. Pass on point there to Kevin Lee, who's helped elevate the game of Jack James since he's been in the Toronto uniform. That's a first down there for Toronto.
Yeah, and you know, I understand the idea of what they're trying to do there, but the coverage down low is just too loose, and it gives him too much time to come in and get that first down.
1st and 10. They're going to hand it off again, find another crease, but going to get about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Actually, maybe 5. Down to the 36-yard line here for Toronto. Offense looking a lot better than the first one, as Charlotte has 5 up to the line against a heavy stacked offensive line, and they're going to send a blitz. It doesn't get home. Going to get caught, and there goes the first catch for Phoenix. Jones making the catch. 1st and 10 coming.
Nice little outside route there, and you know, great catch through the contact there to bring this a Toronto a first down.
And that's another false start. Looked like Austin Wilson and the offensive lineman moved. So that's 2 on this drive. Now it's 1st and 15. Charlotte more than likely trying to pin their ears back on this set now, as they're going to go ahead and hand it off. And there goes the saw. John Smith. Shout out to the big home, and hope all is well with you when you watch the game. It's 2nd and 14.
Yeah, you know, Toronto had quite a bit of penalty trouble last game against New York, and it seems to be spilling over here into this game. And if they want to have a chance to win, they need to get things under wraps and play a more disciplined brand of football.
Send the blitz, doesn't matter. And at 15, as that is Jamal Adams Jr. pushing them to the 28-yard line, and the drive will continue. They're in scoring range now.
Yeah, that's an untimely penalty right there. Honestly, didn't even see the face mask. I thought it was just a shoulder-to-shoulder hit. But the refs probably had a better look at it than I did.
Most definitely. They're going to pick up 7 on the ground. Toronto inching closer to field goal range. Well, closer to getting in a touchdown, potentially getting into the red zone. And so far, so good for the boys in Canada. Almost got the saw offsides, not to be. They're going to hand it off up the middle, and he drags number 90 for about an extra yard, but a first down regardless.
Yeah, Todd Ziegler there with the tackle. And you know, if he could have just got broken off his block maybe a bit earlier, he could have prevented that first down, but great blocking there by Toronto's offensive line.
Offense continues to roll here for Toronto. Handoff again, pushing forward, shedding off or trying to shed off the man and dragging the linebacker Parker Howell for about another 3 yards, and he's going to add up to 9 on his first touch of the game. Those yards after contact are so important in the game of football. Could have been the difference between a 2nd and 5 and a 2nd and 1. Open the playbook up a little bit, as we're going to see another handoff. Why not? Shedding off the man, breaks the tackle, and then drags the man deep into the end zone. Is Austin Wilson, my pick for halfback of the year. Looking nice, getting a little putting action going. I'm not mad at you. Touchdown Wraiths.
That is a motivated run right there. He broke off, 2-3 different tackles, and then on top of that had number 21 on his back as he ran into the end zone. So that is one heck of a touchdown run.
And we got that right there. Toronto up with the quick touchdown on that drive. They drove a little bit there too. Nice job converting on their 3rd downs, getting into easy 2nd down situations, even with the penalties. They made it happen. And that's what the best teams in the league do. Even through adversity, they make it happen.
Well, they were definitely aided by an untimely face mask penalty there too.
Yes, I added the last ones from the beginning of the playoffs, so I will go ahead and add them before we get into tomorrow, so you'll be all good to go before we draw. But I seen it in the review channel point Q, so I'm definitely going to get them in there for you. Make sure you get the best chances possible as we see the return there by Montezuma to the 24. And it's going to be 1st and 10 again. Let's go ahead and see Charlotte back onto the field. Looking to tie the ball game up or get some points, whichever comes first. Going to be passing it here. Looking for a man. Going to launch it to Vic, and he's turning up. Going to juke a man. Gets to midfield. And Kabusi already knows how I feel when my boys eat. Let him eat, man.
You know, Vic is such an important part of this Charlotte offense. Pretty much the entire passing game goes through him. So, you know, Toronto is really going to have to find a way to put the squeeze on him and prevent these big chunk plays from happening.
Taking off to run, throws it deep, and had his touchdown. And the pressure missed that one up. That's the second time we've seen it just a little bit off on those deep plays there by Falco.
You know, I'm not sure if it was necessarily his fault. The ball was there. I think the receiver just needs to try and make a play on the ball.
Yeah, I think maybe a dive probably could have helped him get his hands on it. You never know, but regardless of that, it's incomplete, taken off and throws it away. And now it's a 3rd and 10. It looked like they ran the same play twice and then went to another route. I did see Vic hit that outward and then got cut in route. I don't know if it's just a different play. Regardless of that, launch your left side and caught. A juke move. There goes Bobby Boucher inside the 30. Exactly what the doctor ordered on that one. The rookie comes through in the clutch in his 1st and 10 Royals.
So Charlotte really not, I guess, putting anything consistent together, but is making up for it by, you know, chunk plays here and there.
Looking to throw this one away again. 4 for 11 so far tonight here for Falco. Granted, a majority of those passes that he did complete did go pretty far up the field, so I mean, it is working, but just need to be a little bit more accurate up to this point. Shy of 50%, but still plenty of time to get that change here. It's going to be passing it again, looking middle of the field and caught. Rumbling forward is number 86. That's Hex Waters. That's 3 catches by tight ends so far tonight. A gain of 15 for the backup.
I don't think it's fair to call Hex Waters a backup. He is not necessarily backup quality, so that's just the depth in the offense that they have here in Charlotte.
Most definitely, because we're going to go ahead and see, throw left side and caught. Montezuma gets stuck right at the end of that play. Great job from number 24. Going to make a 2nd and 2. There goes the Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you wonder now, getting close to the end zone, if you see Doc Boone start to get a carry or two.
And there he is in the backfield. They're going to pass out of it. Looking middle of the field, and there was Vic Dotson to the left of that pass. Looked like MJ Witten was on the right side of that pass, and the ball went in between them, right where 3 Toronto players was. Lucky enough for him, it just went right past them.
Like he didn't get called for grounding.
3rd and 2 coming up. Short drop back again, looking to launch this over the head of Vic. And I'm not a fan of that game plan right there. I would have gave it to Doc at least once.
I would have given it to him all 3 times.
I'm just saying, like at least one of those 3 tries should have been a touch, but it looks like that's the main reason why. Maybe they'll give it to him this time around. 4th and 2 coming. And actually, it's not going to be either one of them. It's going to go right side. Going to be incomplete, trying to fit that. Couldn't get it off the tip. And Toronto forces a turnover on downs. That is a big play. And they're going to try the ground game is Toronto. But once again, 1 time out of 4 tries, not to Doc Boone.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that. That's not usually typical of this Charlotte offense. Usually you see a pretty healthy dosage of Doc Boone.
They've gone extremely pass heavy up to this point, but regardless of that, we are at the end of the 1st quarter. Start the 2nd real quick. Middle of the field, and going to be a big hit as that defender almost had the ball bounce right to him, but he didn't react to it.
You just kind of let it sit there and hit him in the chest and watched it fall to the ground.
That was a big hit there by that defensive player, though, to force that incompletion. Charlotte could get a good stop here and get some good field position on top of it, as they're going to try the ground game, and he's not getting the first down that way. And at the very least, David Washington won't be punting deep within his own end zone. It's going to be 4th and 4 coming up. Actually, might not even be punting in the end zone. Might be a little bit shy of it. Actually, no, barely in it. Okay, I was right the first time. I was thinking it was a little bit shorter for some reason. Distance from the punter to the center. But it's all good. Going to be returned here by Montezuma. Got some good blocking. Gets close to midfield. Barely gets past it. Charlotte once again in the mix. And you'd like to think that maybe Charlotte will have a chance to be going up by some points if they was able to score. But not to be. Going to quick pitch it. There goes Vic jumping up and catching that one. 2nd and 7 coming.
Only 7 completions. Something to note here. Hank not having his greatest game right now.
And you gotta give credit where credit is due, where that Toronto defense making it very difficult up to this point. It's going to be 2nd and medium coming. They're going to send the man in motion. They're going to cut it, and Brendan Barbeau was not playing games on that. Bobby Boucher couldn't get anything off of it.
Yeah, the jet sweep there goes nowhere, and this is going to be blowing your mind, but Bobby Boucher now has more rushing attempts than Doc Boone does.
3rd and 6 coming. Going to pass it. Launching right side and caught. Turning up and did not have enough chance to move up and take the first. It's going to be 4th and inches, and will Charlotte go for it again? It'll be a 56-yard field goal from here, but they will keep their offense on. Doc Boone once again in the backfield, and they're going to pass from it. They're going to quick pitch to Vic, who's going to run through, and they will be successful this time around. But once again, I mean, honestly, I would have just gave it to Doc.
This is some really ballsy play calling here from Charlotte, and it's even more ballsy is not giving it to your halfback in these short yard situations.
I mean, if it works, right? But, you know, sometimes be a little traditional. It helps out, as we're going to launch in a wide open Vic, turning up inside the 5 he goes. 2 straight catches. Number 87 starting to turn up, and that'll make it 1st and goal right back in the mix here for Charlotte Caboose.
Well, and you know what? Hopefully this time they can actually get it into the end zone.
When all else fails, 87 is there. As they're going to go ahead and set up 1st and goal to send Parker Howe there on the motion. And is going to be passing it again, looking for a man. Going to be incomplete and a lot of coverage there. And MJ Wooden couldn't hang on.
And again, that's a heavy set. You expect a run out of that. Instead, they try and make a pass. At what point? And there's been no runs in the first quarter. There's been 1 rush from Bobby Boucher on a jet sweep. When do you hand it off?
Doc Boone has 1 carry up to this point. Going to be looking to take off to run, trying to avoid the sack using that speed, but he's going to get taken down. Brendan Barbeau wrangles him down for a loss of 3, and it's going to be 3rd and goal now. If that was Jack James, I think he would have made it, but Jack James does not play for Charlotte. Rocco is not known for his speed, even though he can run the football. If you have a fast D lineman, you could get to you. Going to be passing it again, looking middle of the field, and that's dropped. And once again, not looking pretty in regards to the red zone offense here for Charlotte.
Yeah, Charlotte is imploding right now in this first half.
Jake Parkey in the chat, he says he's coming to the field looking to break the ice, if you will, to get Charlotte on the board from the right hash. It looks pretty good to me. You could let the fanfare go. Jake Parkey doesn't miss from that close. and Charlotte will check in for the first time. 7-3 is your score.
And this should be 14-7, realistically. Just because simply you've been inside the 5 twice now, and you come away with nothing and a field goal in those 2 drives. That's not great.
Yeah, well, I'll have to think about that a little bit. And Ryan Davis here's Caboose loving Charlotte again.
I'm not. This isn't love. This is me calling a spade a spade. Charlotte's playing like trash at the current moment, so they're gonna have to go into this halftime and really make some major adjustments. And I think it starts with
running the football. Well, there's 7.5 minutes left, and outside of not scoring on that first potential drive, their defense still playing fairly strong. So at least got to give them credit on that side. But this is where Toronto should be turning up and giving themselves a chance as they get to the 30 there by Braxton McFadden.
Yeah, and Toronto is doing everything that they need to do. They're running the ball, they're running clock, they're making passes that are accurate and getting the ball downfield. And the only thing that's really been inhibiting them is, they haven't been stringing together consistent drives.
Along with the penalties, make sure that you're staying, playing some clean football. But hey, if you have runs like that, you can make up for some of those deficiencies. Another first down there for Toronto. What a strong carry there from Wilson. Almost lost it too. I don't know if you've seen it in a couple seconds in that clip.
Oh yeah.
But definitely a great job there from number 22. Going to be looking again, passing it. Protection's breaking down. Still finds his mark. There goes Phoenix down to the 39-yard line. The O-line was working double time to give him the chance to throw that one.
That O-line held up really well for Toronto and gave him plenty of time to make that pass.
One of the moves Charlotte made this season was trading Shane Knox away and getting the big homie Shabazz Holmes-Harris. Says we're going to see the pass right side again to Phoenix, and they're right in field goal range just off of that. And if they play their cards right, they could very least erase Charlotte's last drive.
I think they've got the opportunity here to do a lot more than just that.
Well, they could do it with the touchdown or a field goal, whichever one comes first. As they're going to go ahead and hand it off again. Tumbling forward for a gain of about 7. I don't think our D-line has had this tough a matchup in a while. We need to win the battle of the trenches if we want to win. Definitely a great call there by Jake Parkey in the chat. Definitely need to rattle this quarterback a little bit and stop the run game, but it will be another first down play, and that's going to make it 1st and 10. And we'll see this red zone defense here for Charlotte.
Yeah, and those are two big moves that Charlotte made this year, is trading away Shane Knox, like you said, and trading away Arn Jacobson, 2 guys that were really strong at stopping that run. Now, as a result, Toronto is kind of running roughshod over them in that run game.
Going to be passing this one here for a short gain. And one other move that might have gone under the radar is trading Ziegler for Tyree Wells right in that middle of the D-line, which potentially could get some stops. Maybe that last play that you called them out on, I think Tyree Wells would have made that play.
Yeah, very possible.
2nd and 7 here. They're going to go ahead and stretch it, pushing forward, and he's not going to get the first, rolling away from the first down mark. Going to make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Going to pass it again. Middle of the field is wide open. And even though they did make the tackle, that is 1st and goal set there for Dusty Rooks. Try to punch it out, but not to be.
That is some great spatial awareness to get just past the first down marker and then reel that in, even though you know you're going to take a big hit.
I like that little hop backwards because he knew he needed maybe one more yard to get that first. Just like he said, as we're going to see the handoff rumbling and tumbles over the linebacker. He's going to pick up the touchdown, and Toronto's going to go up 13-3.
And Toronto right now looking like the team that, is looking like the better team.
It's looking eerily similar to how Charlotte played against New York in the later portion of this season here. It seemed like every chance they got, they was unable to get a stop. They shoot themselves in the foot here and then there, and then all of a sudden the opponents is up 2 scores. But luckily enough for them, if they're able to score in this first half, they could go at least make it a little bit closer in their favor. And they've shown the ability to move the ball down the field, so they just got to punch it in, just like you said.
For sure. And, Toronto does get the ball back at half, so you've really got to make this upcoming opportunity count.
Because I believe Toronto's starting with the football in the third.
They are, yes.
So, definitely a great job so far. Toronto, essentially a half away if they could hold on to the lead to making the playoffs for the first time and potentially even making the United Bowl for the first time, all in their second season. And you got to give credit to the coaching staff all the way at the top, from Tom Riddell and the rest of the crew plugging away to give them this chance here. But they got a very feisty Charlotte team who's looking to get back into it, as Doc Boone is going to skate his way for another 6 yards and is going to make it 2nd and 3. What a great job there.
Yeah, I don't know what I just watched there, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know what that run was, what kind of crab walk he just did, but I guess it worked.
If it works, it works. 2nd and 3 coming, and that's a 2-minute warning coming up. They have all 3 timeouts, so honestly, if they're able to get a field goal, it's a 1-score game, if that's all they could get. But my opinion, I think they should score a touchdown, let the other team know they still the top dogs in the East.
Oh, that's if they can get in. They've been down there behind the 5-yard line twice and have yet to get a touchdown out of it.
Gonna look to turn up, and there's a sack. There goes the first time out, and no one was open on that play from what I was able to see.
So all those positive yards that you had, what was it, 2nd and 3?
Yep.
That's a 9-yard loss right there. This makes this third down infinitely harder. And that's actually Toronto taking a timeout to try and get the ball back.
Third and 12 coming up. Looking for it, man. Launches right side and almost throws a pick. And it gets worse. Now Toronto has a chance to extend it before the half and get the ball back.
Charlotte right now kind of looking like they're imploding a little bit. The end of the season, all that, the momentum from it is carrying over instead of having the week off to forget, and now they're back in a big hole here.
Jamal Adams Jr. makes the tackle down to the 27-yard line as Cam Jones. Here comes Jack James again. A solid game so far, all the way around. Looking for a man launching this right side, wide open bucket inside the 35, and that is just a chef's kiss.
Kevin Lee there with another big reception. This Toronto team's already back in scoring range.
Wow, what a play. What a team here is Toronto. Sending Braxton McFadden in motion. Looking for a pass again. Throws a short to Austin Wilson. Looking to turn up and using that speed to get maybe 2 or 3 more yards. I think any other halfback outside of maybe Doc Boone probably would have made that a gain of maybe 5. But he was able to squeak out a few more.
Even Ulf?
Yeah, sure. Fine. Second and 2 coming. Passing it, throws the right side wide open. It gets out of bounds as well. And a beautiful set of clockwork here for Toronto in the red zone, 2 timeouts. Honestly, couldn't do this drive any better. Now they just need to close it out the right way. But as you see, they have a very balanced set. 17 out of 30 plays is going to be worth the run, as we're going to see another pass to the right side, and he's just going to work his way down closer, getting up a gain of 2.
Nothing wrong with picking up a couple extra yards. Maybe, try and get something a little bit nicer down into the end zone. But push them to shove. Every yard just makes that field goal a little bit closer.
2nd and 8 coming up. Standing in the pocket, gonna go ahead and launch this to the end zone. And there is a defensive player there, but ran out of room. Now it's a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah, I'd go with a run here, pick up a few extra yards, make that field goal just a little bit easier, and then, let the clock run, take a timeout, and kick it.
Passing it again, looking for a man. Protection's decent. Passes on point. Dusty Rooks in there again. Toronto's on their game today, Caboose.
Or, you just take everything I just said, throw it out the window, put it in a blender, and toss it, because they just got a touchdown. Yeah,
most definitely. And Dusty Rooks, he said that's how a tight end is supposed to get into the end zone. He said that's a Vic, not to me or you, Caboose. He said that's a Vic Dotson directly. But a great job nonetheless. 21-3, 23 seconds on the clock, and then we'll get the ball back to potentially make this well out of reach, potentially. You never know.
Yeah, and, Charlotte, I wouldn't say the game's going to be well out of reach quite yet. Charlotte still has a chance. They still have the team to pull this back, and, they're still a very, very talented team. There's a reason they've been to 2 straight United Bowls. There's a reason they're still first in the East. So I think they have the ability to bring this back.
Most definitely. I think it will start with their defense. I think a turnover deep in Toronto's territory will definitely help get them a quick drive into the end zone, and maybe that could put it up for them, as we're going to see the return here from Montezuma Popoko, looking for some blocks, and he'll get to the 25, and that's really about it. They have all 3 timeouts, so potentially even a field goal could help, and that could make it a 2-score ball game if possible. 19 seconds, looking to throw it left side, and caught. A spin move, he does get away, and they'll call it there. 2nd and 2 coming. Jack Shames in the chat saying we're just trying to win every quarter, and up to this point you have to say that they did.
I mean, it's pretty easy to say that they did. The points don't lie.
The points do not lie indeed. 2nd and 2. Gonna fake the handoff, looking for a man, launch it left side, and caught. And there goes Montezuma down to the 40. And that's definitely a big help right there. Seven seconds left. They could go for the Hail Mary, but a 57-yard field goal here from Jake Parkey, they can't knock it through.
But is a 57-yard field goal what you need?
Not necessarily, but at this point, points are points. You gotta get as close as you can. Make it better for you. From the left hash, kick is up, and it is going to be off the mark, and that is not going to help them, even though Toronto's more than likely just going to run this one out and take it to the end of the second, as we see a handoff, and he will get at least a midfield add on to what has been a solid day for him. 2 touchdowns on the day. And we'll close out quarter number 2, folks. 21-3 is your score. And like I said, Charlotte's sending it right back to Toronto. They're going to need a quick stop.
We'll start with a kneel back, so I'll bring it all the way out to the 25. Toronto here potentially can really put this game out of reach.
Most definitely. You're going to be pushing forward. A great tackle to avoid giving up more yards by Jamal Adams Jr. 2nd and 3 coming up.
Now, if Charlotte, I was going to say, if Charlotte loses this game, right? This score stands. What happens to Charlotte?
Me personally, I don't think it's a blow up type of situation here for Charlotte. I think with their pieces, most of them are rookies. You got Montezuma, you got Bobby Boucher, you got Jamal Adams Jr. on the other side. You have Giovanni Valentine. I mean, they have a lot of rookies here that can use some growth, and that could definitely help with more time. I think there's need maybe 1 or 2 pieces, some playmakers, as we're going to see a playmaker right there, John Smith, making it a loss of 10.
And then on the flip side, let's say Toronto wins this. Where do they go from here? Their young team really taking a massive step forward this season. How do you think that it goes forward in future seasons?
I think it's going to go fairly well. I mean, honestly, if the core of the team and only their 2nd season gets here, the sky's the limit. In my opinion, if there is a team that could beat Huntington Beach as one of these 2 teams here, and how Toronto's been playing recently, or at least in this game in particular, where they have the strong defense rolling, the offense is clicking. I mean, honestly, they could give Huntington Beach some fits. So I think they should just focus here on this season, live in the moment, and then whatever happens. They could re-up in the draft.
For sure.
As looks like they're going to be short of their mark. Charlotte does get the quick stop, and this is their time to start scoring touchdowns. But will Toronto give it up, as we'll see a punt going out of bounds inside the 15 down to the 13. Charlotte's going to have to start pretty deep. Tom in the chat saying our goal was 6 wins on the season. Here they are, half away from the United Bowl. Left side and caught. Fumbles the football. It rolls out of bounds, but I think he hit the ground first. So I don't know if they'll challenge it, though. It did go out of bounds. So let's see it. Yeah, he definitely hit the ground, but I don't think they're going to try to challenge it. They might just keep it as is. Me personally, I say do it. But it is what it is. A couple of yards won't hurt them, as we're going to see a fake of the handoff. Looking for a man again, launching this right side. Going to be caught. There goes the number 1 overall draft pick, making it happen inside the 40. Here comes the Royals. What a catch.
And one thing that I will say Charlotte has going for them is this deep ball game. They are able to sling the rock deep and make it happen. Not a lot of teams can say that.
Handoff to Doc Boone, and he's going to get maybe 1 yard on the play for his 3rd carry on the game. Did not expect that coming into the game. I would say at least about like 7 or 8 carries at this point. The amount of times we heard this is the team that could beat Huntington Beach. That's what Ryan said in the chat. We have said it a lot, but we can only live in the moment, as that is going to be caught through all that traffic. Is Doc Boone. Like, there was like 3 or 4 defenders right in front of him. That had to be a perfect pass, Caboose.
Yeah, that was a perfect pass. I mean, there's no way it gets completed if it wasn't a perfect pass.
Could have been going the other way if it was a little off. 3rd and 5 coming up. Montezuma and Doc looking for it, man, and there goes Vic going up in coverage, and he says he's going to bring it down. Inside the 25 they go, and he's not really known for those coverage catches, like in traffic, but sometimes he could just haul it in. He's a strong body. Sometimes you got to throw it his way. And they're going extremely heavy here. And they're going to pass out of it, looking for it, man. Goes towards Vic, who had a step, but the pass off the mark.
Yeah, just maybe a step too far in front of him. Right vicinity, right idea, just not quite right on the placement.
My opinion, I think he rushed it a little bit. I think just a half a second longer and then started the motion right on that sideline. I think he would have been good for the completion, but regardless, we're going to keep it moving, launch it middle of the field and caught, turn it up. I think he's a little shy of the mark there as Bobby Boucher, but a great attempt there. It's 3rd and 1 coming. Third and 1 here. Empty set. Gonna pass it. Quick pitch to Vic, who's gonna turn up. He said, Dustin Rips, I know how to get in the touchdown here for my team. The first one of the game here for Charlotte. Could have been better a little bit earlier, but hey, better late than never.
Definitely a bit late, but still plenty of time left on this clock to make up 11 points. Now it's up to the defense to put on the clamps and keep Toronto at bay.
Just like you said, 11 points, so they need 2 TDs at the very least, or if they want to go with a 2-point conversion, make it a 3-point ball game on the other side, however you want to do it. But a great job nonetheless here from Charlotte. Back into this one. Toronto, they got to tighten up here. Now Charlotte has the momentum. Toronto offense coming back on. Jack James looking to go to the United Bowl. He's going to need to hold out for these last 18 minutes. He's going to be sending it away as Jake Parkey, and it will be to the 1-yard line. Here comes Cam Jones, turning it up, getting past the 25, rumbles forward to the 31 after contact. Vic Dotson making the tackle. It's going to be 1st and 10. 100 rushing yards to 17.
Yeah, those are not words that you usually hear together. Vic Dotson making a tackle.
Yeah, they got the starting tight ends and I believe the second tight end on kick return coverage. So definitely interesting to see. But they tried that pass there, Toronto. That went out of bounds. I don't even know if that was completion.
I'm not sure if it was, no.
I don't think it was. I don't think he had 2 feet in, but it's going to be passing it again. Turn it up, throws it short, turning to get the first down, dragging a man past the 45. That's exactly what they needed. Charlotte, they let the middle of the field open on that play.
And, perfect example of just taking what the defense gives you, turns into a first down after the catch.
40 plays so far here for Toronto. 21 of them have been on the ground. Complete opposite of what Charlotte is doing is we're going to see the handoff again and going to be a short carry tackled by Todd Ziegler.
Well, and this mixture, kind of puts Charlotte in a strange position where they're not sure maybe is this going to be a running play, is this going to be a passing play, because they're using both equally. But Toronto's defense can basically sell out for the pass and not have to worry about the run because it's not being called.
And it's going to be another tackle right there by J.C. Judon. 3rd and 4 coming up. Not expecting the run game, but Toronto could use it with how it's been working so far.
Yeah, I'd expect a pass here, personally.
Charlotte is loading up that O-line just in case, but they'll spread it out. Going to launch this right side, and the Charlotte defense gets yet another stop. 75% completion percentage there for Jack James, and we'll see the punting team here, Caboose.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the out route there, but it was just too well covered by Charlotte's defense, and it stops the clock as well, so not something you really want to see if you're Toronto.
Looking like another nice punt. Not quite inside the 20, outside of it, but Charlotte is back onto the field, fresh off of a Vic Dotson touchdown. Let's see if they can replicate it here. The run game's still intact, and they will try it this time around, and even when they have ran the football, he is averaging 4 yards a carry and some change, but hasn't able to get those big carries out of his 4 opportunities, I should say.
Yeah, he's not getting the opportunity to really make those big plays that we're accustomed to seeing from him.
Looking to quick pitch it to Vic, who's going to turn up. Tries to juke out both defenders. He gets one of them, and they'll make it a 3rd and short situation. In my opinion, this is a must-score drive.
I don't know if it's a must score quite yet, but it's getting pretty close to that.
They're going to hand it off. Going to push forward. There goes Doc Boone. And we're talking about getting those big plays. That's definitely one right there. 5 carries, 29 yards. Therefore, Doc is going to be 1st and 10.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're a Doc Boone type of guy. Getting him involved, getting him, these carries that he can make an impact in this game.
1st and 10 coming up. They're going to fake the handoff to Vic, and they actually fake the handoff to Doc, and there goes the Grim Reaper, making them lose 8.
Yeah, just take everything that Doc Boone just did, and instead of handing the ball back off to him and getting maybe some positive yards, you're losing everything that just happened on that last play.
Crazy enough, Vic Dotson was open heading to that left side. I don't know if you've seen it on the replay, but not to be. Going to pass the middle of the field and caught. Turn it up, gets the 1st down. Either way. And there goes the big homie Jim Bob. Nope, that is actually Hex Waters. I got the numbers confused. 1st and 10 inside Toronto territory.
Tick. That is all I'm hearing right now is time whittling down as we approach the 4th quarter, and this is still a 2-score game.
1st and 10 coming up. Going with the shotgun, faking it again, settles his feet. Going to go ahead and get the 1st again down to the 34-yard line. And there goes MJW. 2 catches and 19 yards so far on the day, and right on pace to do something good.
If Charlotte is able to turn this into a touchdown by the end of this drive, whenever it ends, the rest of this game is going to be way different.
And another quick pitch to Vic Dotson, getting inside the 30. Now, keep in mind, Charlotte still in play with the field goal. They'll just need to score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion the next time around. But overall, looking nice. And they should have potentially one more play, but they may let it rock to the end of the 3rd quarter. Yes, they will. Got ourselves a game here, folks. Throw your 4s up. Let's get into it. We'll get into the giveaway and all the good stuff after this drive. We'll see what Charlotte can do. 12 minutes on the clock. Going to be passing it again. Looking for it, man. Throws it to Vic and perfectly covered. And he had some room to turn up and potentially get more. He was guarding 2 guys on that play.
I believe there were 3 on him.
Beautiful defense there. As they're going to set up again, 3rd and 4. I wouldn't completely say the run game is off the table for the rest of the game, but maybe a way to get him available in the rush game as they tried to fit it to Montezuma, and that's going to be a stop. 4th and 4. I say just take the 3, get a stop, try it again next time. And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Most definitely. From the left hash is Jake Parkey. Definitely some points they need. Kick is going to be up a lot closer than the last time he tried a field goal, and he will knock it through. We are back to a 1-score ball game, folks.
Well, and you got to wonder right now if they had actually been able to put it into the end zone those first 2 times where they were within the 5-yard line. I mean, we're talking about 24-21 right now.
Most definitely. But we're going to go ahead and get into the mix. Let's get the house cleaning out of the way. Shout out to Dubby, the official energy drink of the United Sim Football Association. Everything good to go with that. Use the code USFA S10 to get 10% off of each and every order that you choose to have with them. Shout out to the big homies at Paladin. If you need some software help for your business, that's the perfect place to go. Also, shout out to all of our 3 affiliates. We got Gold Standard Basketball, Great One Hockey League Sim, and also don't forget the big home is at ECFL. They're the collegiate affiliates, and a big draft class coming next week. So make sure you watch out for that. Going to be a fun ride as we're going to see the pass, turn it up, throws on the run, going to be caught, and he's going to shed off the first man, and he's going to pick up a gain of about 5.
It took 3 guys, I believe, to bring him down. So he's not going down easy right now. He's fighting for every last yard he can get.
Most definitely. And as I see on the prize, looks like the prize will be 10 TPE, which since we are in the playoffs, it will be 20 TPE as we see the handoff rumbling forward. And that should be enough for the first off that play.
It would be.
Go ahead and click the entrance. The draw entrant is not going to be an Arizona Rattler this time around. It will go to Charlotte's wide receiver, Montezuma Popoko, aka ASU Julian 94. So he's going to get himself 20 TPE going into season number 11. Great job, big homie.
As that one is punched out. Toronto's receiver could not hold on there.
Second and 10 here. Going to be a drop back. Charlotte sends 4. Protection's breaking down. Still gets his man, but he's running the wrong way. And that's going to make it 3rd and 6. Sacco said doing exclamation point USFA too late. I don't know if you did it earlier, but actually no, you didn't because it's
not.
So yeah, you a little late there, big homie. Got coming earlier, man. You gotta show some love, man. But I appreciate you stopping by now. 3rd and 6 coming. Big gonna be a handoff, and there goes the Charlotte defense again, making the stop.
And Charlotte's found some life here in this second half. But like I said, time's slowly starting to become a problem for them.
Good thing for them. 9.5 minutes is plenty of time to at least score 1 touchdown. But they got to make sure they score the touchdown. That's the most important thing, as we're going to see the bounce inside the 10. And these punters are still goated here in the playoffs. We haven't seen this many pins in the playoff set, I don't think. It's been pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, these punters are really bringing it, and special teams always a huge factor.
They're going to throw it short there to Vic, who's going to fall down for a gain of 2. Trying his damnness to not be eliminated in the what's the wrong look for in the playoffs. At the very least, he wants to get eliminated in the United Bowl, not the game before, but obviously he wants to get the W too. As you're going to see 2nd and 8, going to pass it, looking for a man. Protection solid, pass is better. Turn it up, falling forward is Montezuma, keeping the drive alive.
Toronto will take this. Toronto will take them, taking these short gains to slowly work down the field and waste time off this clock.
1st and 10 coming. They're going to send Vic to the other side of the line. Putting him on the outside. Going up against one of their star-studded corners, but they're not going to throw his way. There goes number 9, Bobby Boucher, who's, I believe, is making his 4th catch. Yes, it is. 4th for 46. A little sigh in the chat saying special teams, special plays, special players. Most definitely. Got to give credit where credit is due when it comes to special teams. 2nd and 1 coming, empty set. Quick pitch there to Vic, who's going to turn up for another catch. Right at the 40-yard line. Right at what the doctor order. Exactly what the doctor ordered. I don't know what I'm saying, Caboose. Help me.
I don't know what you're saying either. I can't help you. You're not helpable.
I'm not helpable, but that's why I'm here in the USFA, the official professional football simulation league here. In the league, going to be passing it again. The protection's beautiful and the pass is better. Pass midfield. Another 1st down here for Charlotte. Working it down, but getting the 1st downs available.
The only worry that I have is if they don't score here, they've worked off already or 4 or 5 minutes of this clock. They're not leaving themselves a lot of leeway for any mistakes.
Oh, that was almost one right there. Yogi Bar could not hang on to it, though. It's 2nd and 10.
Well, that does at least stop the clock for them.
Second and 10 here. Shotgun set. Gonna pass it, looking for it, man. Goes and looked like they tried to hit Vic on that play, but they had him double covered. They're gonna make it 3rd and 10.
Well, I believe he also cut outside, and that pass was well inside, so I'm not sure if they were on the same page there.
Looked like it was one of those sluggo routes where, you know, cut out, then cut in. Maybe it was a little bit of a rush, but regardless of that, great defense there from Toronto. Going to be passing it again, looking for a short pass and as a drop. And I don't know if you want to throw it to your middle linebacker there on a big play like that.
Did they really throw it to a middle linebacker?
Yes.
That's tough.
That is Parker Howe there. But it's 4th and 10, and looks like Charlotte's going to look for the pin, see if they could get themselves some good field position after a good stop. That's probably the best case scenario for them, as they will kick it to the left side, looking for a bounce, and it had that high bounce they were looking for, but just a little bit too far into the end zone. And here comes Charlotte on defense. They need to stop here.
Toronto would love nothing more than to just run this down their throats.
And they're going to find a big hole there, a juke move, a first down play, and more clock coming off the board just off of that.
Yeah, I think Toronto here can just afford to run the ball just about every single play and keep this clock moving.
5.5 minutes left. They're going to pass it this time, looking left side and caught. So the clock will continue to roll at the very least, but not getting too much there. They're only going to pick up 3.
That's fine. They don't need a whole lot. They just need this clock to keep moving. A field goal wins them this game.
Short drop back again. Looking to do something. Throws this one away. Stops the clock.
Yeah, not a good look there. I feel like he heard the block behind him. The body's hitting the ground, and didn't quite know what was going on, so he took the safe route and threw it away.
Have to expect the pass again. So Charlotte with the chance to get off of the field here. Looking to get down. Throws the left side and another throwaway. Stops the clock. Charlotte's coming back onto the field here.
And they got a lot of time to work with.
All 3 timeouts as well. They don't have to rush it. As long as they get into the end zone. That's the most important thing. It has to be on this drive. I think 4 down territory will be the best move, unless it's a quick stop. Try it again, as that is going to be sent away, looking for another bounce. Yes, it is. And they're going to have to drive the length of the field to make this happen to Charlotte.
Absolutely. And another thing to keep in mind is that they're also going to have to get a 2-point conversion.
Most definitely. Looking for it, man. Throws it over the head of Vic. Just beautiful defense. And I think they're seeing Bobby Boucher wide open there.
I believe he is, yeah.
The punter is MVP as per Jax James. That would definitely be a critical punt if they're able to find the stop. 2nd and 10 coming. Looking for a man. Throws it to Vic, who's going to rumble forward and pick the first down up himself.
It was a grown man right there. Bodies a couple of different people.
12 catches, 135 yards. We can't say that he didn't give his best effort out here tonight. That's definitely strong man running, but they got to get up the field very quickly here. 1st and 10 coming, looking for a man. Runs a little backwards, runs and fumbles it, and going to be up. That's to the 1 yard line. Should be a safety.
That should be a safety.
Should be a safety.
Everyone and their mother knows that was a safety, but
how's that not a safety?
I would challenge that if I'm Toronto.
Huh. I know Ryan is supposed to be a safety, but it's not a safety. It's down to the half-yard line, and they might as well hand it off, and that's a flag, and that's a face mask. Oh, never mind. I'll take that back.
No.
That's a safety. There's the safety there. And that, of course, is on Vic Dotson. That's tough there for Charlotte. Back to a 2-score ball game. No, like a face mask to me. I thought I was face mask. I'm tripping.
Well, the Sim Gods righted the wrongs that were just done there, and the safety was awarded, and it's back to a 2-score ball game, and Toronto gets the ball. This, for all intensive purposes, should be wraps.
Everybody put hashtag Vic sold in the chat for your boy, as Toronto not only gets to score the 2 scores with that safety, but they will get the ball right back with the safety punt. Of course, Caboose is the first one to say it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Always want my players on the downfall is going to see Cam Jones to the 36-yard line. Vic was like one of the main reasons why they got even close. I will hear what you're talking about. Okay, but it's going to be a handoff, big hold there for Austin Wilson, and he's going to make a 2nd and 3 coming up. But that is one reason why Vic Dotson is more of a receiver. He's not a blocker. That's just not his thing. But it is what it is. 2nd and 3 coming. Just to get the chatter in the Discord, make sure you spam me in the Discord with Vic sold. I love to see it. I love the chatter. It's all good. Going to be pushing forward past midfield. Another first down play. And Toronto is just taking it easy here. They figured it out. They know what they're doing. It's looking real nice here for Toronto, Caboose.
Absolutely, and so now I think we can kind of start looking a little bit ahead, barring something spectacular happening, to a Toronto versus Huntington Beach United Bowl.
Handoff here, pushing forward past the 45-yard line. Another timeout called. Is that Vic going to need a nursing home soon? He ain't that old. He's up there, but he's not that old. He's not Preston old. He's not.
I mean, Preston's old.
Preston is like decrepit, bro. Like, that's the first time I seen in the upgrade sheet like he has negative TPE. I'm like, oh god. But it won't be negative for too long because I'm going to get that 100 TPE. Get that already, as that is another first down, and I think you could pretty much call this ball game.
Yeah, there's not enough time left for Charlotte to really do much of anything, barring like some sort of disaster.
I mean, even if it was a disaster that came to a touchdown, I mean, Charlotte will still have to score again and get an onside kick on top of it. So that'll be very, very difficult. As we see the run there by Braxton, Charlotte cannot stop the clock, but there is the 2-minute warning there. So I think at the very least they could hold them to a field goal, give them one more chance with like 20 seconds. It's really about it. Have $38 million in contract money. I mean, yeah, but I don't want to spend all my money. I want to buy stuff. I want to invest in my new chicken wing restaurant down the road from Huntington Beach, California.
So you want to be in Fountain Valley, where I was born?
Maybe.
Okay.
Only for good. As you see a handoff pushing forward and another first down, and looks like we could go ahead and say the congratulations early. The first time out of the last set of the expansion teams where one of the teams is going to make it to the United Bowl. Got to give it up to them. They were immaculate all season.
This is the first time an expansion team has made the United Bowl.
That's crazy. Is this a change of the guard game? Will we see this more often? That's the question.
You know, and I think the East, it's going to be between Toronto and Charlotte. And I don't know how Charlotte is going to react to this loss going into the offseason. And I'm not sure how Toronto is going to handle the salary cap over the next couple of seasons. So, and they're not to say like other teams like Tampa Bay is still on paper a very good team. So, I think there's a lot of competition happening in the East. I think with a couple new owners coming in to the West, the West could be getting a lot more competitive pretty soon. So I think all around, the competition level is going to go up.
Don't forget the homies that Toronto beat to get here. New York is right in the mix with that strong offense. They need a few more pieces on defense, and I think they'll be right there with them. So overall, a great job by the Eastern Conference all the way through. But we have our Eastern Conference champions, the Toronto Wraiths, making it to the United Bowl. Make sure you show some love to them. Congrats to being the first expansion team, just like Caboose said, to make it to the big dance. And we will see them tomorrow in Arizona, facing against Huntington Beach. But we got to go over these stats real quick. Final score 23-13. And Charlotte is kind of near and dear to your heart, especially with how long you've been with them in the past. But what are your thoughts for Charlotte going into the next season? What do you think that they need? And what are your thoughts overall on the season?
Well, first and foremost, I would not say any team is near and dear to my heart. I filled in for them when it was needed, and I liked having them while I was there. But I've moved on at this point. Charlotte, though, I think their offense might not be it. Personally, I'm not sure if a new quarterback is needed. Or something on that offense just isn't quite clicking right, and it's costing them games. On defense, I think the trades that they made were pretty detrimental to their chances this year. Guys like Arn and Shane Knox, they really left a pretty big hole on that defense that I think we noticed with how potent Toronto's run game was. So it's going to be an off-season of questions for John Smith and the Charlotte staff. I'm interested to see how they tackle it.
Most definitely. And while I'm finishing this up, we got ourselves a new matchup here in the Madden era in regards to the United Bowl. And what are your thoughts on Toronto, not only in this ball game here, how they performed, but what do you think their chances are going up against a team that they've never faced? I don't know. It's an excellent question, and I think that I think that they have a chance to win. I think anyone has a chance to win in any game, but until Huntington Beach is maybe down by a couple scores in a fourth quarter, I still think I'm going to favor Huntington Beach for this. Most definitely. Definitely a great setup there. Toronto at Huntington Beach, all ready to go. We're going to get the field ready later on tonight. That way we could get it put into the ball game. Shout out to the big homies here in the chat as I go through these stats real quick for you guys. And for the people that eventually will put them into the website, hint, hint, Ryan Davis or Kyle Wu, whichever one, I don't care. One of you do it. But that's besides the point. A great job there. As we go ahead and check the score and summary real fast, it started with the Austin Wilson 9-yard run there in the first quarter. And it was just like big homie Chaos said in the chat. It said, just want to win every quarter. And technically, they didn't win either quarter in the second half, 7-0 and 3-2. That's so weird to see. But definitely a great job nonetheless. They definitely did good here with the second quarter. That was mostly the turning point there that gave him the edge. Jake Parkey with the field goal, Wilson, and then Rooks gets the touchdown. Then Vic Dotson came through with his first of the game, and they got the safety. And then, they got the field goal here for Charlotte, then the safety there by Toronto to close it out. And I told you I quit stats. Do it one time, please. Okay, but that's all good. We are here. We know our United Bowl game, just like I said, going to be a fun ride as always. And we're going to go ahead and prep for that tomorrow. Going to be at what time should it be, Caboose?
I believe it's going to be, you said 5 Eastern, right?
Yep, I'll be ready
Was
for
it?
it. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan to me. The final game of season 10 is coming. Hit my DM stacks because I got to know how to send my Toronto play. Okay, got you. I will go ahead and do that shortly. But until then, let's go ahead and get to it. Thanks so much for all the time. And we'll go ahead and talk to you later.